Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've got a question for you. Is America a great country or not? Now, there will some that will say, oh, we've got it all wrong. We've been doing everything wrong. We need to try something different, like socialism. The president said often, and I see it on some hats, make America great again. And he's exceeded my expectations in so many ways. But I will tell you, in order to make America great again, you have to understand, and this is incredibly important, you have to understand what made us great in the first place. We've got these young folks running on the Democrat side, you know, their new economic policy, socialism. They think they're going to make America great by getting rid of merit, getting rid of those who work the hardest are rewarded the most. They want everybody to share in everything, whether you work or not. That's not what made America great. What made America great is that our founding fathers had the presence of mind, had the vision to largely leave us alone. Our founding fathers said, and agreed with Ronald Reagan, who said that government is not the solution, government is the problem. Our founding fathers laid out some rules, some very specific rules. They put them in the Constitution, and they said government will be bound by these rules, and those powers not given to government are left to the people in the states. They wanted a government so small that you could barely see it. They agreed with Justice Brandeis, who said that the most cherished right among men and women is the right to be left alone. We are great. We are the richest, freest country ever in the history of mankind because we are left free. Your freedom is inversely proportional to your government. The more government you have, the less freedom you have. What happens if the government takes all of your income? If the income tax were 100%, what would you be? A slave. That's slavery. You give all of your money, that's all taken away from you. So we should want the smallest taxes, the lowest taxes, the smallest government we can possibly have. There is a threat to America, though. It's an insidious one. It lurks in the shadows, and it creeps up every generation. It's this notion that you can get something for nothing. That you can get something with no work. The opposite is the truth. Why is America so great? Because you are rewarded in America for merit and for hard work. You are also rewarded if you can figure out how to make something and sell it to your neighbor at a cheaper cost than anybody else. Competition is capitalism. It drives us. Profits are a good thing. The fact that people want to help and provide for their family is why we are such a great country. We do not want and must oppose these new young socialists that are popping up on the other side. Right. We can't forget where a lot of this came from. You remember Barack Obama? You remember when Barack Obama said, "You didn't build that"? This is the notion that we must fight, the notion that merit, individuality, creativity comes from the individual, that somehow it's going to be a whole bunch of people who don't care about providing for their family and care about something more than providing for their family is somehow going to lead to prosperity. We have prosperity because people care about themselves and their family and others. But you have to care, and it can't be about the collective, it needs to be about the individual. This message is about more than one person, more than one politician, more than one political group or party. When I started going to the Tea Party rallies in 2009, 2010, wasn't about party. So you do have to keep both parties' feet to the fire. If you're watching closely what happens up here, guess what? When I ran for office, I opposed Barack Obama's $1 trillion annual deficits and doubling of the national debt. Guess what the Republicans and the majority are doing this year? $1 trillion debts again. So it makes a difference. The Republican Party is simply an empty vessel. It means absolutely nothing unless you imbue it with value. Your values, the values that made America great, the values that say we want to be left alone, we want to be able to provide for our families and work hard, and we want to receive the receipts and receive the fruits of our labor. This is a big deal. Bigger than all other issues is whether or not you want the government to coddle you from cradle to grave, or you want the government to largely leave us alone. My message to you is do not let your guard down. Do not let your guard down, because lurking around the corner is somebody who says the better way is just to give to everyone according to their need instead of to everyone according to how much they work. This is an insidious notion, but it's becoming more and more prominent. It's coming to the forefront where the Democrats' main candidates now are promoting a program of socialism. You know what socialism is? Socialism is coercion and violence. Inherent to socialism is that the government will use the force to take what you earn and give it to people who are not working. Socialism is a crash diet plan. We need to send these young socialists down to Venezuela and see how they like it.
Yeah! Do it!
The average person in Venezuela lost 30 pounds last year. Not because they wanted to, because there's no food. Capitalism works. Capitalism is not a dirty word. Capitalism is freedom. Inherent to the idea and the concept of capitalism is the freedom to trade with your neighbors and those who live in your village, live in your town, to trade without the obstructions of government. What are some of the good things we've done? We got rid of over $60 billion worth of regulations that were preventing us from trading with each other. For the past 6 years, I've been arguing for a tax cut. Return the money to its rightful owners. Do you know what every establishment Republican leader said? We can't do that. We want is tax reform. We want revenue neutral tax reform. You know what that means? Half of you pay more, half of you pay less, and the net effect would be zero. I want to return the money to its rightful owners, to you. This is where President Trump instinctively gets it. Every time Republican leadership came forward and said, oh, we've passed tax reform, he said, no, we passed a tax cut to give you back your own money. The fight is not over. I will tell you that we need, once again, the enthusiasm we had in 2009 and 2010. The fight is just beginning. The fight is not only with the Socialist Party, the Democrat Party. The fight is also to make sure that the Republican Party believes in what made this country great, and that is freedom and being left alone from your government. Thank you very much.
Senator